Hello everyone and welcome back to Civilization VI. Me and Ben are hoping to redeem ourselves in your eyes. I'm going to load up this game, get it loading.
Okay.
We're going to play on Emperor. We did play on Emperor on both of our attempts so far, by the way.
But that was cut and it looked like
we were playing
still on
easy.
Prince, but we changed it before we loaded.
Even so, there were some pretty epic misplays, and we didn't play well. I'm afraid that we just got the build, and we were looking at it fresh.
And we hadn't really played Civ 6 for a long time. So
and now I've played quite a bit, actually.
Ooh,
and I feel like I'm
you've been
ready to
practicing.
share with you the strategy guide for the start of the game.
The Lewis Brindley patented opener.
First, we click through all of this. Don't need any of that.
Don't need
info.
any of that. You're a master now.
So, I've just generated a random map here.
Random map.
I feel like I know what I need to do on this one. It's easy.
Right. What stands out to you?
Desert, so I'm going to leave a holy site here and take the Desert Faith.
Right.
I'm going to slot the card in straight away that gives you this
Plus
one.
one faith.
Plus one
God
faith
game.
and plus one gold to get the Desert Pantheon, first of all. Build Petra in my capital. I win the game. Okay?
Oh, big claims!
Easy. This map is easy for me, so it's too easy, in fact.
What?
I'm going to restart.
But can't you show us what you were talking about? Like, to see it in action?
You do, what? You want to see that in action?
Right.
Well, look. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this because we're just.
I'm enjoying the pride that may become before a fall.
Do you not think that this is easy, Ben?
I don't know enough about Civ 6.
I think it's too easy. Look, we've got three luxuries.
I've never
luxuries
heard
to start.
anyone cream their pants over starting next to a desert before.
Well, but it's too easy, Ben. Look, Petra is not far away. Okay,
Right.
Petra is here.
Yeah.
Behind build three different
But we're playing on
speciality
Emperor.
districts.
The AI might just
That's even easier to get
snatch
now
it.
due to the government plaza. Petra really fast. Fast Petra.
You think
in
you
a
can
capital.
outpace the AI who gets loads of free shit?
All right, fine. We will use this as an example of how powerful it can be. But I would like to restart a few times in any case. But maybe we'll do that afterwards to give you some different...
what you want to show. If you want to restart, you go for it.
Well, listen, I feel like this is just too straightforward,
Okay.
Ben. It'll be an easy win for us.
Okay, well, we'll do a desert run another time then, if you want to do it.
F1 was I've read a lot of threads, a lot of comments, a lot of people saying stuff that we were wrong about Civ 6. I've taken some of it in, some of it I've forgotten about or ignored.
Perfect.
But we're going to share with you like the elite strategy, and so this is not a good one to start off on because I
Okay.
feel like it's too easy.
Well, you're showing off a completely different strat with that desert, right?
Well,
You're showing off the desert
that
strat.
strat is going to be no. Actually, generally everything falls under the same basic build, but certainly that one is obvious.
Right,
By the
okay.
way, I've picked Georgia.
Why?
We ignored Georgia's bonus before.
What do they get? Double faith.
Let me just shut up Sean Bean and load it up here instead. She gets double faith for 10 turns after declaring a protectorate war. A protectorate war is when someone has attacked a city-state that
you
you're
have
allied
allied
with.
with, yeah.
Or you're suzerain with.
Yeah.
That kind of is crap. Ignore that part.
Okay.
The second part is actually amazing.
Each envoy counts as 2.
Each envoy you send to a majority religious city counts as 2. So basically, because in this game you don't have to send your envoys immediately, you can build
Oh, you
them
can
up.
store them up, so you can wait till you spread your
So
religion
you wait
and
till
then
you've
dump
got
them
a
all.
religion city-state and then slam it in there. This
Okay.
is another
Another
desert style.
desert.
But you know what? This is
And loads of sheep.
a new resource, actually, olives, which is just a fun new luxury, by the way. They've got a couple of new ones. We're going to do another restart. Sorry, Ben. So, of course, the other thing that we skipped last time, really, was we really skipped governors and how massively
Well, we
game-changing
knew they
are.
were going to be big, but we didn't feel like we had the time to go through and read all of them and work out who was the best.
But the problem is we didn't even factor in what a governor will do to your early game strategy. Okay? This looks like a challenge.
Okay.
So this looks like a good one.
Lots of
Although,
silver.
yeah, we got lots of silver, which is interesting. And we've got a nice lake. Do you know what? I quite like the start. It's actually
It's a bit different, isn't it?
tricky.
There's no river, which we're normally used to having.
There's no stone either. And one of my favourite things to do is start near stone.
And just smash it all and harvest it.
Well, this is a thing, isn't it? That used to be a strategy. So in Civ 6, you always start with a scout. One of the things that you want to do is you want to consider harvesting stone.
Right.
Because it's a production. It's like a forest. If you harvest you can harvest resources. These bonus resources, in case
And it
there's
gives
only
you a
one
big
here.
one-off lump
Gives you a one-off
sum.
bonus, and then you lose that resource, which is pretty impactful actually. But now there's a governor who we can't see yet. Oh, yes we can.
Yeah, we can.
This guy, Magnus. Now his ability is plus 100% yields from plot harvesting.
Double harvesting. Right.
Which actually is incredibly important. in the early game. So we're going to take animal husbandry because we're going to go scout, builder, get this set up, get this set up, get this set up.
Okay.
And
no
so
harvesting with our first builder. Just lay down. Well, yeah, because farming the wheat gives us a eureka for
correct.
Irrigation.
That's the irrigation. And although we don't need it because we don't have any irrigation resources, you might as well get
it's like
eureka.
5 turns saved of research, isn't it?
However, like we don't want to do too much to trigger a. This is the other thing. So the Dark Age, Golden Age, we do want to get into a Dark Age.
You want to go Dark Age then Heroic Age, like our first playthrough.
So this is my new sort of build, which I'm using, and it involves us getting a religion.
Yeah.
Because we are playing as a religious civ, but even if we weren't,
you still want to go early religion.
You definitely want to get Holy Site first of all, and the reason is because there's a Dark Age card that gives you some bonus science from your Holy Site.
Yeah, double science for
cities with the Holy Site, which is pretty impactful.
Pretty big.
In the sort of early game.
I mean, if we're aiming for a Heroic Age, I guess what we want to do is we want to Dark Age it, but we also want to get as many points as we can without leaving the Dark Age, right? So that because those points carry over into the next, and then it's easier for us to get our Heroic Age.
Precisely.
So we want to get we want to end the era on 11 points, ideally.
In an ideal world, but
look at all this stone.
So this is an interesting spot for a second city. So of course, what we want to do. So the basic strategy involves either when you start with a city that has a lot of harvestable resources, or you build your second city somewhere with a lot, and you send the guy there.
Yes.
So, for example, this is a great place.
Yeah, you got forests and stone. I mean,
so if we settle,
Central,
in fact,
right?
I'm thinking we settle like maybe here rather than on the coast. Settling on the coast does give you a historic moment, which we don't really want.
And rivers are great.
And rivers are just better than coast. However, we could always settle there, which is fine for now, and then aqueduct to here later. However, you have to factor in how far away. We are 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of want to be here because if we're too far away, overlapping the districts is not good. So I still like, even though they've reduced some of the bonuses that you get from overlapping, entertainment complexes and industrial sites do still overlap well. Obviously, Magnus's final ability, so we're going to use Magnus quite a bit. His final ability is that the city receives production from any number of nearby industrial zones. So once you're done with harvesting, you can put him in your central,
in the
your
middle
production
city
hub, and have him sit there.
Nice.
Anyway, he's the one we're mainly going to use. Otherwise, much of this isn't very good.
Are we not going to get the religious guy if we're going like big religion?
We may do, but we can pick him up later. And really, like, I'm not too worried. Sometimes what you're going to want to do is just have these governors because you need to have governors.
Because for loyalty, right?
For loyalty in the city, and certainly on a border city, you're going to want to make sure there's enough loyalty. But also, we're probably going to build the building, the government building in the government plaza, that gives a penalty to loyalty if you don't have a governor.
Oh, but it gives you other stuff as well.
So when we play multiplayer, our strategy is that you don't tend to get enough space for a sprawling empire of 10 or 15 cities, which makes it likely you're going to have a governor in every city, which is going to mean that you're going to have picked all of these at some point, because the game kind of the governors come in quite quick, and they're based on culture too.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's
get going.
Let's worry about that in a bit. We're just going to scout around down here. Now I'm going to go builder here. It's possible that we might want to go straight to settler here instead of builder, or straight to monument. Okay, now that decision, the second thing, or second scout, so you have to. That decision is based on some things. The reason I don't go 2 scouts is because sometimes you find a scout in
a hut,
and then you've got 3 scouts, which is just really too many.
Yeah.
The reason. Sometimes you find a builder though, but if you have 2 builders at the start, it's not the worst. And also, if I find a builder right now, I could just change this production quite quickly and be fine with it.
Yeah, because you're going to build more builders eventually anyway.
The second builder won't be needed for at all, but it's not the worst. It's worse to have 2 scouts. Although sometimes scouts are okay as basic defensive troops to ensure your cities get down. Yeah. If this guy had walked on a flat land path. If this wasn't a hill, I'd very heavily consider building a settler second.
Oh, for the speed.
Because he could go back out here to one turn, out here to another turn, settle, and then bam, we've got a second city very quickly. But as it is, that'll be 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns, 5 turns to get to where we want him. which is fucking ages. Now, we're going to have to do it eventually, but it's
We
not
may as well be
worth
picking up these extra
sacrificing.
resources from the builder while we do it.
Third thing, we could build a monument. Obviously, monument is changed in this game now, and it now only provides 1 culture per turn,
and
instead of
loyalty.
2, but it slowly ticks up loyalty.
But loyalty at this stage of the game is irrelevant.
We are at max loyalty at the moment, so we
Yeah.
get 2. But here's the thing. Culture at this stage of the game isn't as important as ensuring that we secure these boosts.
Yes.
Okay, now, the thing about these boosts is that
You want to get craftsmanship done, the Eureka, before you would have finished research.
imagine I built a builder, I could now do that boost.
Yeah, immediately,
And so that,
straight away.
so building the builder effectively gives me culture. It's giving me 10 culture.
Yeah.
And
7.
that is equivalent of 5 turns of the monument.
Oh, right, yeah.
So therefore I can delay the monument for the builder.
Makes sense?
Okay?
Yeah.
So are you with
'Cause
me?
you-
Are
yeah,
you with me so far on the
'cause you
build
have-
order decision
Definitely.
on turn
I'm very,
5 of the game?
I'm very into it because discovering another continent is totally out of your hands. And whoa, hello.
And
He's
this
a
is
very buff
obviously
man, isn't he?
the sexy man who lives nearby.
Sexy Indian man.
He has. We're on Emperor.
Oh, shit.
He has started with a settler. This is going to be.
Hopefully he keeps
Oh
going.
God! In fact, that's his 3rd settler already. The reason I'm playing on Emperor is because I want to represent a multiplayer game.
Yeah, and lower than Emperor AI is really bad.
And partly because also, unfortunately, the way the map gen still works, and we need to get a way to fix this
We need
around
a mod for
multiplayer
that.
games, is we're not sure what size map works for a fun multiplayer game. Obviously, we have to form a meta. I wouldn't advise you to play any of the Civ games multiplayer online with randoms. You need to find people or a group of friends. There's groups like that, though, right, where you can play with. And I advise you to play with them. But we need our own meta. And for this test video, I want to represent... I don't want to have an empire with a shit ton of land around it and not expand.
Yeah.
So far, I'm thinking a city here.
Well, yeah, hopefully he keeps going
And
west.
so hopefully he'll go...
If he goes north, we're in trouble.
Yeah, but we can just kind of lurk here, and maybe we can take it off him. But this will kind of ruin our demonstration if he settles here. But maybe it won't ruin it. It'll be fine, hopefully. So I'm just going to carry on. Now, up in the Arctic, we don't really want to settle our second city somewhere that doesn't have harvestable resources.
Yeah.
So this is looking okay.
Yeah.
This is looking very good. So I'm really wanting to settle here right now. So I might as well drop a
Drop
little
your
pin.
down, yeah.
And I'm thinking also 1, 2, 3, probably here.
Really? The snow is just terrible, though, isn't it?
Well, there is actually now, this can be my last city. There is now a good reason to settle in Tundra. It's quite late game, but it is the South Pole research lab thingy. The Scott Amundsen Scott Research
yeah, I haven't
Station.
even seen
So
this.
this is a wonder that needs to be built on a campus with a research lab. Okay.
Oh, wow.
On snow or snow hills.
5 snow within 3 tiles of this city.
So basically, what we need to probably do, I'm thinking, is build a campus like here, maybe here. So if we put the city here and we put commercial hub campus, the campus will get a decent amount of science, and then we slap down the Amundsen Research Lab in the late game up here,
Right.
and that gives us 20% science to all cities,
That is huge.
which is massive.
Yeah.
And 10% production to all cities, Ben.
My God.
And so trying to secure even a crappy,
Just a little Arctic outpost. Somewhere.
is totally worth it. And I like the dynamic of the game that in 6-player game, you will have 6 people trying to build their little.
I like that
North Pole
little,
cities.
the little war for the Arctic. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And also, it kind of helps someone who gets stuck up against the side of the map.
Yeah.
Because they might be able to think, oh, fuck, a 10% production
least I'll
bonus,
get this.
20% science bonus. It is late in the game. It is
What
really
tech
late in the
unlocks it?
game. But it's still pretty good. Cold War. But, this is when you're getting research labs. It's towards that end of
But still,
the
that's that.
century.
You know, if you've got 2 people space racing, that'll decide it.
So, I mean, this isn't something you consider on turn 6.
But good to know.
But you also have to sort of understand that it's not too bad. Some of the governors, for example, this one here lets you acquire new cities, tiles and cities faster. You're going to want to... the biggest downside with governors for me, and that's something I always forget, is the time it takes for them to...
Yeah, so you can't juggle them
established.
around too much.
Because you think, oh, okay, I'll slap my governor in and I'll harvest all the resources. No, you have to wait 5 turns. I mean, I think this is adjusted for online speed, but I think it feels too long.
It is long, but I guess what you do is you move them over there when you start building the builder who's going to go do the job.
Yeah.
So as long as you're planning ahead.
I'm actually not going to scout any more this way because I think that's just India's settler.
Yeah,
and I
you don't
really want to
wanna
find
risk 'em
out if
coming
there's
up.
an alternative city
Oh,
spot.
these
It
two
looks like
lakes.
there might be a city location here that's
Maybe.
not terrible.
Depends how big that lake is, doesn't it?
But looking through these hills, this is going to be a bit of
We're a bit penned in.
frustration for us to set up our city, but it doesn't matter. Mining is the next one to get the marble online.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just keep moving out. I'm not going to scout the
Yeah,
tundra
there's nothing up there.
because we're not going that way.
Yeah.
That's the simple. I mean, if barbs come from up that way, we'll go and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to go that way. We're
God
going to almost always put this in. The reason we're going to put this in is because this is actually, it sounds good, but when you've only got one city, this is,
And if you're beelining for a holy site,
you
then-
just want that pantheon up before the holy site, almost in every situation, because then when you put your holy site down, the adjacency bonuses suddenly start coming in, and it kind of works for itself. I usually get the double exploration.
Yeah, because you'll get a chance to change for discipline before you meet barbs.
And we're going to pick a civic. We're going to pick craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And usually the way I'll do this is I'll juggle these two.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't waste any of the eureka.
Yeah, so I don't. So this is actually a fine one to start on. I haven't actually checked what these guys are working. Sometimes they work the wrong stuff. Okay, you almost always need to go in there manually and make sure they're not working the wrong tile.
But they are doing.
In
the
this
best stuff
case,
right now.
we want them to work there. I think this is not. Neither of these are good tiles. I think we should have probably bought this tile a little bit earlier.
Okay. Well, we'll get it next turn.
Well, we can buy it now.
Well,
I mean, it doesn't matter. Just to show people what the tile is. This is a way better
it is
tile.
a much better tile.
I really
isn't it?
should have bought this much sooner. We expanded to this tile when we should have been expanding to this tile.
Yeah.
We don't really want that extra one culture at this point, because it's more likely to screw
Yeah.
us over.
You just want the growth.
Be wasted. We need the growth and the thing, so I should have done that earlier. That's a bit of a misplay.
Oh, it's okay. We're only on what turn? Turn 8.
But that
so
is
we haven't
something
wasted too much.
You definitely need to watch out for. Well, I've missed quite a bit actually. Technically, if I'd bought that,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
as
on turn
soon as you
2 or
hit
3,
growth 2,
that would have been an extra production every turn. That would have been
no, an
5
extra food
production.
every turn.
An extra food. No, because I would have been working the 2 food, 1 production tile
Oh, I see. Right.
up until
yeah,
now.
Turn 1.
So that I've missed 5 production, but don't worry about that. It's the thing that happens. So maybe I'm 1 turn slower.
So
on a
do we go
builder.
straight to a settler?
Don't stress. I think we still go straight to a settler now.
Because we cannot risk India taking that spot from us.
Well, I think that second city settler is so relevant, and
And look, the timing's just right. We're going to hit size 3 and then build the settler.
yeah, I mean
That's nice.
that's a little bit of a tricky situation. We're not gonna be friends with India, unfortunately.
Too close to be friends.
We are gonna be upsetting them in all sorts of ways. So let's just build on the ones we want to work. So we just really want to get out Eureka, actually, even if it's
Well,
not
look, mining will be done
great.
next turn, and then we can go build the quarry.
I mean, there's still a big gamble in Civ that you could start next to tiles that just have a shit ton of resources. You could start next to sugar with 5 food coming out of
Yeah.
it straight away, and
Or salt.
and your
great.
city will balloon to a big size. But I don't think the general strategy really changes too much in that case. Like, I don't think I would be making many different decisions
Who deserves more credit?
given like a very different start.
No.
I mean a very boosted start. If you like.
Yeah, no, you would have just still built the builder first, and everything would be basically the same.
I feel like a couple of things that here that I've noticed are that I want to pick out sites for holy site for campus.
Yeah, so you're thinking this desert tile for holy site because you've got 2 mountains?
I'm thinking that because the desert site's pretty shit anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You're giving up a shit tile and you're getting a good adjacency.
So we
bonus.
slap the holy site down there. I'm thinking maybe here for the industrial site because there's 3 mines I can put on here,
Right.
and it's also adjacent to the city, which counts as a district. Then if I put a harbour here, it gets another adjacency bonus.
Nice.
Remember, the government plaza is something we're going to build. Sometimes though, I'm quite happy building this in the second city. Reason is because the loyalty bonus that it brings
Yeah,
in.
it just doesn't help the capital.
If
so
I
much.
slap it out on my borders, then it's more likely to
Get more
benefit
value.
from that. And also, I can actually even pull once I've connected the borders together. I can throw the loyalty thing somewhere near to a thing, and it will provide an adjacency bonus. So that's the other thing that the government plaza does. It provides +1 adjacency bonus to all other districts.
Oh,
so if you
wow.
surround it with other districts,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. But at best, you're going to get 6 adjacency out of it.
Mm-hmm. But you're probably not going to
I
get six.
wouldn't worry too much about putting it somewhere. It's more important to pick a good industrial district site.
Yeah.
I mean, this is okay in a sense, but it's +3. I don't know if we could do any better than that particularly. Maybe here's actually pretty good.
Maybe here.
Actually, here's pretty good stats. We're going to work that. This is going to be a mine. So these are...
No, that's going to be a quarry. Do quarries count?
Quarries count.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, if we put the industrial district here, and then we put the government plaza here, maybe, and then I think this could be a campus, and then this could
That's gonna
be
the holy site.
a holy site.
So no, I mean, you're getting down a lot of districts here because do you still want a harbour as well?
I'd probably not know.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the reason the usually only build harbours if I can build them next to a commercial district.
Right.
So if it was a commercial and a harbour, because
Yeah.
I've got a river in my campus.
That's right. We can get commercial and harbour down in the second city.
Yeah.
'Cause that's got a river and the coast.
Well, but they need to be adjacent, because they benefit from being
yeah,
adjacent. You see.